Welcome inside Birmingham Groves High School. Brad Fetters alongside Andy Aubrey for this girls varsity volleyball contest between our two rival schools, the Seaholm Maples and the Birmingham Groves Falcons. Nearly set to go. Seaholm in their road white jerseys, Birmingham Groves clad in their home blacks with green numerals. If you're unfamiliar with the game of volleyball at the high school level, we will have rally scoring here tonight. Race to 25 points, a best of 5 sets. Have to win 3 of the 5 sets in order to be victors here tonight. Seaholm will be going left to right across the volleyball court as the liberos get ready to check in. That'll be Molly Glazier for Seaholm at the libero position, the defensive specialist.
And Brad, we say this every year that the game of volleyball has among the most passionate fans of any high school sport that we cover, and as well as the players themselves. There's just a level of being into it that we really admire in these players. So here we go.
Underway, too deep of a serve. First point of the match belongs to the Seaholm Maples. A service error there to get us started. So I mentioned Molly Glazier, the defensive specialist for the Maples. It'll be Margot Nolette for the Birmingham Groves Falcons. Set to the outside. Dug up well there by the Maples. Free ball here for Groves. Comes to the near side. And the point is considered in, so the Falcons will even up the score at 1 apiece.
That one looked a little long, but they called it. And we are all tied up early on.
So this will be Olette unable to handle that serve, tipped out of bounds, so point over to the Falcons. Early 2-1 lead. Set to the far side, too deep. And quickly, Groves with a run here. 3 straight quick ones, and they lead it 3-1. Let just a junior. Seemingly serving into that middle of the formation. Too strong once again for the Maples. This has been a strong Falcon run of 4 straight points.
Yeah, after Seaholm got out to that early 1-0 lead, it's been all Groves.
Jump serve to the back row this time. Diving effort. Emma Weber comes up short.
And maybe it's a good time to clarify, Brad, the rules. These players are allowed to leave the lined area to get that ball. They just have to make sure it's in.
Well, that was kind of a scary looking play because it occurred right in front of the Maples bench. There's a short one, and the outside hit is good. Kill belongs to the Maples. They trail here in set number 1, 5-2. We'll see our first substitution of the game. Hazel Guffey checks out of that outside hitter position. Lauren Gregg and Leighton Kovac up front. Molly Glazier, the libero, with the serve. Comes to the near side, tapped over. Playable there for Emma Weber. Weber, a terrific basketball player as well for the Maples. Block rejection for Seaholm. So that front row of the Maples gets the point there, and they pull within striking distance now of the Falcons. A bit of a struggle for the Seaholm squad, coming into play with a 6-12-3 mark. Do have some ties with some of the tournament play. Cross-court shot there from Seaholm. Playable for Groves. Tough play, jousting for it at the net. Stays alive. Good volley here. The set and the spike for the Maples and the point. So good front row attack. Give Mary Gumbus the point there for Seaholm. Maples riding a 4-game losing streak, trying to get back on track. Dug by Weber. And Mary Janice comes up short along the end line, so the Falcons get the side out. We'll get the serve right back. They're in front 6-4.
Seaholm making a little run, coming back here. Still have a little bit of a late arriving crowd.
They go to the outside once again, shoved to the back row. Senior Ellie Gusbuehler unable to play it. That's seemingly what volleyball is, a game of runs and how well you can defend and overcome said run. Kind of a spinning serve there by Kovac. It's going to be the libero Nolette who pounds it over, and too firm, too strong. Ball sails over the end line. Give the point back to the Maples. 6-all our score. Leighton Kovac, a sophomore outside hitter for head coach Derek Williams. Ooh, tough play along that back row by the Falcons. They come up empty. So the Maples now with their first lead of this first set. Powered into the back row, Nolette to the middle hitter too strong. So some errors starting to pile up for the Falcons.
Yeah, they lost their early match mojo. They were streaking there early on with several points, and now they've sort of bowed to their rivals. It's 8-6 Seaholm.
A well-placed ball by the outside hitter. That was Molly Heller, the junior. The Falcons end that Maple push. I see some subs into the game now for head coach Madison Close, lady in charge of the Birmingham Groves Falcons. And near ace for Groves, but playable. A free ball here for the Falcons. Bumped around, back row. Another free ball now for the Maples as the two teams trade bumps. Ball into the net was playable momentarily for the Falcons, but once again, Seaholm comes away with the point.
And that one got the crowd going. We had some nice reaction of admiration here from the locals in Groves Gym.
Brinley Pratt, senior defensive specialist, now wearing the libero jersey at the moment. Tough play for the Falcons. They bump it over, so another free ball here for Seaholm. Can they take advantage from the outside, trying to go cross court with it? That's Addison Wolf along that front row for the Falcons. Sent over on two. Collision there results in an open spot for the Maples, but they're somehow able to save it. We still have a couple Seaholm players down. Officials stop play.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what happened there. It looked like everyone froze when the players were on the ground. There was a big gap that was closed quickly and admirably, I might add, for them to keep that point alive.
And there's an ace for the Falcons. So back-to-back points for Groves. There's a let off the top tape. That's playable in the game of volleyball. And a really good kill. Strong, hard attack from the outside by the Maples. A little seesaw here in the first set. 10-9 our score. It'll be Mary Gumbus, another one of those Maple players that play basketball to serve things away. Attack comes from the middle of the formation. Sent to the outside, powered across by Hazel Guffey. Sent straight into the air, across the net. Outside hit, block, double block. Weagle with the attempt's going to get another offering. Tried to go right down the line and out of bounds. Going to be a tough shot straight down that line. Just couldn't tuck it in.
Yeah, Groves was fortunate to get that point. It was a little bit of miscommunication there, but they prevailed.
Emily Rankin. Middle hit. Splits a couple Falcon defenders. Hazel Guffey.
What do you think, Brad? Pretty evenly matched so far.
Yeah, these are two teams that come into play tonight on paper You said it. Pretty evenly matched, and that one caught the Maples off guard. Caught them sleeping, so to speak.
Yeah, I don't think
ranking the senior.
They did not expect that ball to come back over that quickly. It was the setup they were awaiting, and it never came. It came back at them, and they were kind of left empty.
J.C. Roy, the service error. Roy, a softball player for the Falcons. A lot of multi-sport athletes right now on the court.
Yeah, we do. We do see a lot of names that we know from other sports and other years, and possibly sisters and brothers, too.
Maya Janis, outside, too strong, over the end line, and out. Maples, the slim advantage at the moment, is now tied. Going to give Groves that point. Nearly up into the rafters. Free ball for Groves, comes to the near side. Molly Heller. Sent to the back row. Let the libero to the far side. Terrific volley here. Long scrambling effort made by the Falcons. A one-handed play. Oh, what a play there. What a save, Andy.
Yeah, that's all-out effort. What a point for the Groves Falcons, and they are celebrating like they've earned it, and they did earn it. That was a big point to go up by one, but looked like for all the world that one was going out of bounds, and the save was made, and they were rewarded with this point.
Margot Nolette, the libero, made a one-handed play, and now she gets rewarded with the serve. It's kind of always how it happens, right? You make a big play, and then you get the serve. As the Falcons starting to flex their muscles, Julia Yoder on the far side with the kill.
Yeah, that last play before, was that considered the Hail Mary of volleyball, possibly? Back to the net and just running at full speed. She punched her fist out and made the play.
So they will say that, in fact, that ball was inbounds. So it's 13-13. Now that ball sails out, so 14-13 Falcons in front. Ellie Geisbuehler, senior, gives it a spin before sending it on its way. A really kind of a deep serve from way beyond the service line. As an error from the front row attack goes into the net, so point over to the Falcons. Mentioned this is Raleigh scoring up to 25.
Yeah, she starts deep on that serve.
She does a flat-footed serve, which is fairly rare. A tough play, and finally we get both officials agreeing, point over to the Maples. So neither team really able to create any sort of separation here in this first set. Sophia Fisher, the back row. Near side, outside attack, dug up. Set. Not much on that attack for the Maples. A lot of standing around, caught flat-footed, point to the Groves. So defensively, Maples unable to counter.
Yeah, you said it, Brad. They were observers on the Seaholm side for that last point. They just seemed to be just sort of standing there versus staying on top of their toes.
Emery Baldridge too deep on that jump serve. Couple service errors for both teams. A fresh server checking into the game now for the Maples. Sent into the back corner. Tough set, really near the line. No harm, no foul. Good block up front again by the Falcons. Defense being displayed right now for Groves. And a joust at the net. And that one is won by the Maples.
That was a hard-fought point. They laid it all out there for that one.
Mary Gumbus and Emma Weber up front. Brinley Pratt with the serve. 16 all our score, set number 1 here on BACB Sports. Cross court. Playable there for the Maples. And back-to-back kills for Seaholm. It's front row right now. Mia Janis, Gumbus, and Weber doing a terrific job for the Maples. Another tough play. This is going to have to go backwards in order to go forwards. Tough set, tough play. And it'll be 4 hits for Seaholm. So 17-17. Get another substitution this time for Groves. As their libero, Margot Nolette, checks out. Addison Wolf, the senior. Popped by Mary Gumbus to the back row. Falcons too strong. Some unforced errors. Mary Gumbus right on cue, out of bounds.
Yeah, 1 for each side there.
So both coaching staffs starting to push some different buttons. Julia Yoder back in along that front row. Ooh, tough play. But the wise play for the Maples, they don't go after it, and they'll watch it sail over the end line.
Yeah, it was a split-second decision to let it go, and Seaholm takes the lead again at 19-18.
Set to the outside, free ball here for the Falcons. Be a back row attack, and too strong from Brindley Pratt. So this one has been extremely nip and tuck. Neither team really able to go on any sort of sizable run to create the separation needed. Obviously, you have to win by 2, Andy. Maples come over on 2, tried to catch the Falcons off guard, but Groves able to send it over, and they found a weak spot in that Maple defense, and they come away with a very valuable point there.
Yeah, they could close this thing out.
It'll be Brindley Pratt. Into the net, 2020.
It's tough. That last point's the toughest one to get. It's like the last
Don't forget
out.
it is up to 25. Raleigh scoring up to 25. Not like the beach game you play at home. It's up to 21, Andy. So ranking on the outside with the set. Popped around defensively by the Maples, and then the battle at the net. And it's going to be won by the Maples. Mia Janis, outside hitter, senior. Very veteran-laden club for head coach Derek Williams. And a 2-handed stuff back by Seaholm. Gives them the 2-point advantage, and we're going to get a timeout on the floor. 60-second timeout. The Falcons wanting to talk things over. Their head coach, Madison Close, realizing the Maples have gained a little bit of an advantage late here in this first set, trying to squash some of that momentum. Take a look inside that Birmingham Groves huddle. On the opposite side there for Seaholm and head coach Derek Williams. Couple seasons at the helm now of the Seaholm Maples.
And this would be quite the comeback for Seaholm if they could pull this off. It feels very much like Groves has been the aggressor, to me personally at least. Up 1, up 2, up 4 at one point, but Seaholm has stormed all the way back. And they're in prime position to take this first one.
Janis gives the ball a couple dribbles. A bit of a short serve. There's another block. And they're going to say that one is tipped. It was tipped defensively. Oh! Going to change the call. Now they're going to talk things over. This far side This near sideline judge said the ball was tipped, and that's the call they're going to stand with. So the Falcons get one. Now Emma Weber, and this is one of the more unusual aspects of the game of volleyball. The coaches can't plead their case with the officials. They have to send the captain over. So Emma Weber is going to get the duty. Now she's going to report back to her head coach, Derek Williams, who's not going to agree with the call. And he's going to give her instructions on what he wants to say to the up official.
It's a very complicated communication system. It's like carrier pigeon days a little bit.
And now Emily Rankin, the chosen captain for Groves, is going to relay the instructions back to her head coach. We're back to live action now. Just unable to tuck these attacks in. So the Falcons come away with a couple points here out of the timeout, have evened things up at 22 apiece. Spinning set there. That was a tough play. Kind of popcorned over by the Maples. Sent to the back row. Margot Nollette in that libero position has been all over the floor for the Falcons. And Maples somehow able to tuck that one in before it sailed over the sideline. That was Hazel Guffey with the point. So Seaholm with the point. We'll turn it over to Molly Glazier, their libero. And that block attempt, couldn't get it back on the hardwood. So it sailed out of bounds.
There we go.
So 23-23. Didn't quite have the score correct on her lower third, but 23-23 is the correct score. Falcons with the serve and the point. And now, for the first time, we have ourselves a set point. Opportunity for the Falcons to take the 1-0 lead. And it'll be Allie Geisbuehler to serve here for Groves. Sends it all the way deep to the back row. Mia Janis to receive it. And a line violation there against the Maples gives the Falcons the first set victory. 25-23, our final score in set number 1, as the Falcons take the early 1-0 lead.
When it comes to disasters and emergencies, it's not a matter of if, but when.
I'm relying on luck, but who knows if it'll be on my side.
Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Take control at ready.gov/olderadults.
And we are back to Groves High School, continuing coverage of our girls varsity volleyball contest. Groves Falcons here on their home court take set number 1 by the final score of 25-23. Brad Fetters alongside Andy Aubrey, BACB Sports. It'll be the Seaholm Maples with the opening serve here of set number 2. Brinley Pratt will get us started momentarily. She comes away with the jump serve and the early point via the ace. Margot Nollette, the libero, unable to field it cleanly. And the Maples take the early lead.
And with these two teams being so evenly matched, especially that first game, it'll come down to conditioning, Brad. I believe that is going to be the determining factor in this one as it goes on.
Eliminating some of the errors, some of the mistakes. We had some service errors in that first set. There's a double block off the attack of Amani Renscher. Got the double block up front. And that front row right now for Seaholm, Mary Gumbus, Emma Weber, it's been phenomenal. And it's an early 2-0 lead for Seaholm. Trying to bounce back here in set number 2. Oh. Right there, that's the type of play that's going to be the separating factor, perhaps. Nollette put it right into the net.
Yeah, and there were a couple of those on the serve last game as well, which will be points that they'll want to eliminate.
There's it. serving ace. So quickly, 4-0. Seaholm. All coming off the serve of Brinley Pratt. Falcons in desperate need of a side out here. The front row having to readjust the positioning. Little fake. Ooh, I think the fake.
Was that purposeful?
I don't think so. A little ill-advised.
Yeah, she kind of double clutched it and then double pumped, and next thing you know, she had to go back up again. The ball was still in the air.
I believe she thought maybe that ball was going to sail over her head, right? So she's going to go up with the fake, and then all of a sudden it came straight down on top of her. And Weber had to readjust in order to make the play. Weber leaves it that time for Gumbus, who just couldn't tuck it in, out of bounds. And finally, the Falcons get the side out. That's one of our longer runs of the evening so far. 5 straight for the Maples. Have the early 5-1 lead. Terrific play by Emma Weber going over on 2. Caught the Falcons off guard, and quickly it's 6-1. Mary Gumbus gives it a spin. See by Nolette. Free ball here for the Maples. Blocked up front. Playable for Nolette. Comes the attack of Heller. Paddle forward along, and a line violation called against Weber. Ellie Geisbuehler checks into the game. Senior wears number 1 for the Groves Falcons. Nolette. Short set, and the kill.
Yeah, that was textbook right there. And her teammates are showing her the love. Great play. And Seaholm definitely the aggressor in this one so far.
Hazel Guffey with the kill. Point over to Seaholm, 7-2. Serve comes to the near side. Cross-court shot. And it's going to be unplayable as it gets over into the Groves bench. So Seaholm looks a little different in set number 2.
Yeah, they came out with some fire. There was maybe some harsh words between game 1 and game 2.
And a ball sent into the net there. And all of a sudden, 3 straight quick ones for the Maples, and it's a 9-2 advantage. The line driving serve just gets over the net, but it's an ace. Unplayable there for the Falcons. And Groves in desperate need of a timeout are going to want to talk things over. 10-2 our score here in set number 2. Madison Close gathers her troops around her.
Yeah, and that last ace just kind of landed in the middle of nowhere. It was kind of in that dead zone right in the center. It's amazing with all these players they are out there on that court that you could have any gaps or open space, but that ball found that sweet spot, and Seaholm just continues to build on their commanding lead here in game 2.
So we mentioned Seaholm coming off 4 straight losses. A 3-set sweep to Clarkston, a 3-set sweep by Rochester. Rochester Adams required 4 sets, and then Lake Orion, another 3 straight set loss by the Maples. So it's been a tough go of it as of late, trying to rebound here tonight against the rivals from Birmingham Groves. Let has to play it over, and she picked a spot. I don't know. Maybe some bad spacing that time by the Maples.
Well, the game of volleyball, definitely one of runs. It goes on runs, and Seaholm had their share of runs. We'll see if Groves can get on their own here to pull a little closer here in game 2.
Baldridge with the jump serve. Trying to go down the line. That was a tough play by Rankin up front. Weber with the short set. Block shot there for Groves, and they're going to call a violation at the net. Addison Wolf up front with the partial block. I'll give her credit for it. So Baldridge back to serve once again. 10-4 our score. Diving effort made. And point to the Maples on the violation. I get the sense it's an extremely important set for Seaholm. Have to remain in striking distance after dropping the first set.
Yeah, they don't want to leave themselves having to win out with no margin for error. It's tough that way.
Addison Wolf's serve went into the net. Service error there for Groves. Molly Glazier, the libero. And into the Seaholm bench it goes. Tough play along the outside. Ellie Geisbuehler put it too far, out of reach. That too strong. Emily Rankin now with the serve, the senior.
And you mentioned it, Brad. Those numbers are a little tricky to see. That dark green against the black is tough. The idea of white outlines on those numerals, the Seaholm numbers are a little easier to see.
I think that was a point of emphasis, perhaps, by the MHSAA that you had at least outline the numbers.
Without that, it'd be hopeless. Yeah, it's really tough. The front seems a little easier. I don't know if it's the contrast with the name Groves across too, but the back it's a tough, tricky one. There's got to be some guidelines somewhere, right?
There are. There's NFHS guidelines when it comes to numbers. Gotta make things easier for the broadcasters.
That's the goal here, I think.
Look at those JV numbers, right? White on green with yellow writing. Piece of cake.
That's perfect. You can see that a mile away.
15-7 our score here in set number 2, and there's another service error. The green on white's piece of cake.
Oh, that's good. That's not a problem.
Tough play. Unable to tuck it inside the antenna. On the outside, clear as day from our vantage point. Point to the Falcons. Trying to work themselves back into set number 2. They took the first set, 25-23. Big attack. And gets the point down.
Yeah, Gumbus, she's 17. She's got that height going for her, and she hung up in the air for an extra split second. She kind of pulled a Michael Jordan where she went up and she didn't come down, and that extra split second gave her the advantage.
Tipped up front. Playable here for the Maples. Mia Janis. And just outside. Some of these attacks just failing because they're just unable to get the ball in. Flat-footed serve. Over on 2. Falcons weren't caught off guard this time.
And it almost feels like that could be successful more often if they try it. I mean, I get it. Textbook volleyball, you want to set up your slant, your kills, shots, and so forth. But every now and then, and we've seen it in this match, Brad, there's been a couple of those just boom, hit it over right away. No time for the setups. Catch him napping, maybe.
This time he will get the setup and the kill. Mia Janis on that outside. Big swing of the right arm. And Maples have been in clear control of the second set. It's the set to this near side. Molly Heller swings it, dug up. Whoa, what a dig. Along the back row, Brindley Pratt. And Heller will get another opportunity, and this time she gets it down.
Yeah, that was a nice point by Groves. They did a nice job.
Coach Derek Williams instructing Emma Weber along that back row. Some of the posture along that back row defensively. Henry Baldridge. Weber come near side with the set and picked a spot. Falcons had vacated. Well-placed ball for Seaholm. And they continue to hold that 8-point lead. And Janice, a little bit of a flat-footed serve. Did you go overhand or did you go underhand with your serves, Andy?
Well, speaking from a volleyball perspective, which was my most recent attempt at this general sport, it was all overhand. But boy, does that hand sting after a while, right? You get that big red, like swollen hand,
Well, yeah.
sore, and it's hot. But I think when you're younger, you go underhand, right? It's a little easier.
Yeah, oh yeah. Pop it straight up in the air, right? It's easier to place.
Yeah, that's very true, yeah.
Caitlin Cooper checking in. Addison Wolf with the jump serve. Weber so nonchalant with some of those sets. She's a player. Tipped along that front row. Playable, however, for the Maples. And really well done. Emmeline Hugel, the junior. Just sent it over. Cool, calm, and collected. The far side, too strong. Nope, they're going to say it was tipped, I believe. It was tipped by Groves. Line judge on this near side said tipped and out of bounds. So point over to the Maples. They really have yet to give up that 8-point lead.
Yeah, Seaholm's been in firm control this whole second match.
Now it's kept alive. What a play there by Weber. Just reached out and saved it. And now three Maples come together. They crash together. Weber hits the floor. And the Falcons come away with the point. Well, some dogged determination defensively by Seaholm, but they come up empty. Can't fault the effort. Weber short set. Saved by the libero, Nolette.
You know what you don't see with a lot of these girls? Long nails.
I wonder why.
You can't have that. There'd be no way. That could be dangerous. You can tear one right off.
Falcons trying to work themselves back into the second set. You're going to get a back row attack this time. Getting back defensively are the Maples. And slammed down, but out.
Well, Groves is making a bid. It was looking very much like Seaholm was going to waltz out of this second set with the victory, but you get the feeling they're kind of just hanging on right now to this lead.
The miscommunication as neither Falcon played that ball.
Yeah, there's a little bit of looking back and forth. I'm going to have a timeout now. Let's talk this one over.
Groves going to use their second timeout of the set, so they have none remaining. They will try to readjust and come out of this timeout. Madison Close has done a terrific job of calling timeouts, as the Falcons have been pretty good out of these breaks. Racked up some points coming out of the timeouts. And we're buying into that message. There's a look at some of the faithful in attendance here tonight. Andy, they're missing Monday Night Football.
Yes, big game. Lions, Seattle. And I'm sure some of the football faithful in the crowd are hoping this thing buzzes along quickly and they can get in front of a TV set.
I'm sure some of them would hate to see this one go 5 sets.
No, we don't want that necessarily. I mean, I'm all for the competition, obviously, but...
Leighton Kovac. Oh, the old campfire ball. Everyone gathered around and was watching it. And it fell straight down. Boy, oh boy. And just like that, have ourselves a set point coming up for Seaholm. Love to even things up at 1 set apiece. Falcons unwilling to go away easily. J.C. Roy going to check into this game, as will Molly Heller. Roy will have the service rotation, 24-16. So set point number 2 coming up. And an ace. Look out, Falcons. Can they scratch and claw their way back? This would be one heck of a comeback.
Yeah, they've got some work to do, but they still, it feels like they've got a little momentum going for them. Oh, as soon as I say it. Yeah, I jinxed them. I didn't mean to do that, ladies. But Seaholm Maples take game 2.
Seaholm does, in fact, take set number 2, 25-17. Set number 3 coming up next right here on BACB Sports.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. But only you can prevent wildfires.
And we are back. Groves Falcons, Seaholm Maples tied at a set apiece. Photo opportunity time before set number 3. The teams have hit the floor, nearly set to go. Best of 5 sets. Have to win 3, Andy. 2 teams tied at a set apiece.
And we have no real clear cut, to me at least, talent advantage, I don't believe. Both these teams look very evenly matched, evenly coached, and yeah, it's been nip and tuck.
Falcons coming into play tonight with a 9-13 record, coming off a 3-1 victory over Berkeley and an ace. An early 2-0 lead for Seaholm. Bit of a different look to this Maple team since losing that tough first set.
Oh, tried to finesse it over. Didn't happen. Seaholm goes up 3-0. Sort of shades of last set where Seaholm took a relatively sizable lead early, and then they never really looked back.
Maples have scored quite a few points off the Pratt serves tonight. She goes short with it this time. And ball's going to touch the line. Yes, sir.
How long until we get laser scoring, the like tennis majors and that sort of thing? Same time we get robo umpires in baseball, right?
These line judges have a very difficult job. Some of these are not cut and dry. That one was pretty obvious to the naked eye that one was in. Outside attack into the net this time. Mary Gumbus, swing error there. Let. She's got the difficult job of being the libero here tonight, the defensive specialist.
She went with the yoga pants, and I wonder if that has to do with a lot of these girls hit the floor and make sliding dives for balls and trying to protect the skin a little bit, but the rest of them, all shorts.
Nolette racking up the points now. Another ace. She wastes no time. She gets the ball back in play.
Is there a serve count I'm not aware of here?
There's no shot clock.
No shot clock, no.
Short set. A little spinning attack. Diving effort along that back row. We got ourselves a good old-fashioned volley here. And finally the air into the net. Well, Let's gonna go get the ball, and I guarantee you she'll serve this thing up quick. Two skips and a serve into the net. So that kind of stops the run the Falcons were on. 5-4, they still are out in front. Gumbus with the jump serve. Nolette receives it. Goes over to the far side, cross-court shot, dug up by Gumbus, controlled by the Maples. They send it over, free ball here for Groves. And Nolette unable to save it. She did everything in her power, but comes up empty.
Yeah, that one was a little reckless. It was all over the place. Groves did all they could, but Seaholm ends up with that point to tie it up at 5.
Now you get the ace from Mary Gumbus. A little bit of an ace dance there for the Maples. (6-5) our score. And the Falcons able to answer right back. Outside hit of Julia Yoder. Falcons do have some height on the floor right now with Addison Wolf out there as well. Geisbuehler. Tough play. Free ball for the Falcons. They come to the near side and out of bounds. See Madison Close, the head coach for the Falcons, giving some instructions there on the swing of the arm on the attack. Bump to the middle, blocked, but playable. Kind of a ricochet bounce there for the Falcons. Shoveled across. And a point to Seaholm. Hazel Guffey, that middle hitter, just a sophomore. A couple underclassmen getting some valuable time for the Maples. Good recovery by the Falcons. Have to play it over. They're successful in doing just that. It's going to create a free ball once again for Seaholm. And a kill. Mia Janis.
Yeah, nice kill there. That was a beautiful setup, just textbook, and she made no mistake about it.
Now Weber, on the other hand, she takes her time with these serves. Pounds the ball on the floor 3 or 4 times. Free ball. Seaholm will set things back up. Come to the near side, double block attempt. Addison Wolf even tried to use her foot, which you're allowed to do, but comes up empty. So this one sort of has a feel of the second set where the Seaholm Maples were kind of able to go on a long, steady run right sort of in the middle of the second set. They took that commanding 8-point lead and never gave it up. A nice double block in front once again. Addison Wolf. Falcons staying within shouting distance. Molly Heller checks out. Emery Baldridge, the freshman, into serve. See by Pratt. What a dig there. That actually went over the net. And the Falcons will watch that one sail out of bounds. What a play along the back row by Groves. That kill had all kinds of heat, and the Falcons were able to dig it up. Short serve. Right at Nolette. It absolutely handcuffed her. If you were going to kind of size up and maybe characterize these two teams, you'd say Seaholm has a little bit of the power, especially in their attack game. The Falcons, a little more finesse. There's some power there being displayed by the Falcons as they get the kill on the outside.
And you can win both ways. Sometimes the finesse sets up a little power when you least expect it. So whether that's their intent or not, it worked on that particular point.
It's going to be a tough save. Have to get it over, going over the head and into the net. A game of inches there. Doesn't quite pay off for Groves. Good, valiant efforts. Comes up empty, and the Maples come away with the point and the 3-point lead. Molly Glazier, the libero, gets the ace. So is this that sizable run once again by the Maples?
Well, it could be. That's what they rode to victory in that second set, and they just seemed to get on that mini run and go up 6 or 8, and Groves was not able to recover.
Monty Runcher, the freshman, in the middle.
Getting some of those younger legs in there, and hopefully fresher, a little more spring.
Received along the back row by Glazier. Set. And the power play of the Falcons. Julia Yoder on that far side.
And of course, you know, the soccer players would probably scoff at getting tired of this. Playing volleyball, they run 5 to 7 miles for every match, so you want tired legs, there's the sport for you. But they don't do as much jumping as these participants do, and we're gonna have boys volleyball next year, right?
This year, as a matter of fact, it's going to be played in the spring. MHSAA giving the go-ahead for boys volleyball. Why not? Oh, look at that double block. Hugel and Rencher going up. Yoder on the far side. Oh, puts the swing into the net. What a play defensively by Hugel and Rencher. Leighton Kovac, underclassman, just a sophomore.
Oh,
Yoder got it over this time.
two Groves players converged on that particular play. They weren't quite sure who was going to tip it over, but they got the point to pull it in one now.
J.C. Roy. If I'm not mistaken, I think she was the leadoff hitter, wasn't she, for the softball team?
Yeah, I think she was.
And Weber, a softball player as well for the Seaholm Maples. Three-sport athlete here at Seaholm. Gumbus, kind of a twisting, turning attack. That ball was tipped before sailing out of bounds. A point over to the Maples. Boy, oh boy. Some enthusiasm being displayed here in set number 3. I think you've hit the nail on the head. These are just two evenly matched teams.
Yeah, I mean, this has been neck and neck really since we started all this about an hour ago. It's been very, very evenly matched teams. Oof, point Seaholm there.
Just barely out of bounds. The down official right in front of that ball. Pratt had handcuffed the back row of the Falcons. Madison Close going to stand up from her coaching position. Going to position her athletes, electing not to take one of her 2 set timeouts. Going to try to play this one out. Falcons seemingly have been able to come out of the timeout breaks. And we'll see if Close, in fact, does take a timeout. She will. Yep, you kind of got the sense that she would take a timeout if things started to slip away, and they, in fact, have. 18-13 our score here in set number 3. So we are in the home of the Groves Falcons, and when you think of recent memory in terms of Birmingham Groves volleyball, you think of multi-sport athlete Ellie Ruprecht. Remember that name?
Oh, yeah.
Basketball player, terrific volleyball player. She ended up going to South Carolina. And she played her volleyball there. She was an SEC Defensive Player of the Week multiple times. Ruprecht now holds a school record at South Carolina for solo blocks and was the second player in school history, Andy, with 100 total blocks in 3 consecutive seasons for the Gamecocks. So congratulations to Ellie Ruprecht on a fabulous collegiate career down in South Carolina. Hard to believe, but her career is already over at South Carolina. I mean, you and I were calling her games when she walked these halls at Birmingham Groves, and now she is a college graduate.
I'm happy for Ellie, but I'm sad for us. We've been doing this that long, and it doesn't feel like it was that long ago. We were calling her name here in this very school, or one of these 2 schools, and it was a blink of an eye, and now she's out of college already.
But I was preparing for today's game. I thought, well, I wonder whatever happened to Ellie Ruprecht. Well, she had a fabulous career at South Carolina.
Well, in the course of covering all these sports, Brad, I don't know about you, but when I'm flipping channels, I come across volleyball. I'll pop, spend a few minutes and watch the college game on the Big Ten Network, for instance.
Sure.
There will be games on, and I like to watch it for the level of competition compared to what we're seeing now versus what that next step up looks like, as well as how they announce these games. Some of these, we'll call them quote-unquote professional broadcasters that call collegiate sports on national cable networks. And it's always interesting to pick up some pointers here and there. But, yeah, the depth of these sports obviously takes next level when they get onto college, but I've watched a few. Wrestling as well, college wrestling. Boy, those college wrestlers, they grow a little between high school and college. They get them to the training table as soon as they get out of high school, obviously. Those are some pretty big fellas. But anyways, volleyball, again, from the outset, like I mentioned, passionate players.
Well, I think the game of volleyball is in a good place here in the Midwest. I mean, you mentioned Big Ten Network. Nebraska just sold out their football stadium for a recent volleyball game.
Yeah, that's right. 92,000. I was looking that up. August 30th of last year. Nebraska versus Nebraska Omaha. And who knew? But that not only is the largest crowd for a volleyball game in history, that was the largest women's sporting event crowd in history. There's something about that stadium. I think Larry the Cable Guy sold it out too. What's in the water down there in Nebraska? They like to gather in that football stadium for these off events. Maybe because their football team's not been very good lately.
Yeah, that's true. The Cornhuskers have struggled in the game of football. So they need to bring in the comedians. Maybe
some comedic relief, and maybe watch some women's volleyball for their fix when it comes to competition, but. Yeah, that's it's pretty amazing. I think U of M, your move. We got to get
volleyball game at the Big House.
Why not, right?
Smash some more records.
Right. I'm still waiting for a concert at the Big House. I still have not done that, and there's never even been any talk about it. I thought when they did the Winter Classic up there that maybe that might give them some ideas to open the doors to other events. But
There was talk of potentially having a WrestleMania at the Big House,
okay,
and that would break the record. I think they've had a WrestleMania at Jerry Jones's Dallas, Texas stadium,
AT&T
right? That
Stadium,
smashed
yeah.
the Silverdome record, maybe?
yep, I think it did. Yeah, it was over 100,000.
Right out of the timeout, again, Molly Heller and Addison Wolf with the block. That Falcon front row have held their own. Addison Wolf and Yoder on the outside. Molly Heller has done a fabulous job as the middle hitter. Sent to the back row, Glacier there. Point to the Falcons. So this has a almost near identical feel to the second set.
Yeah, very, very similar.
Weber set it up. And Hazel Guffey couldn't get the kill. So the Falcons trying to pull even. Maples with a comfortable lead right now in set number 3. Have to just eliminate any sort of mistake, and there is the patented Emma Weber go over on 2 to match her number. That should have been the cue the Falcons took, right?
Yeah, it was
Uniform
almost
number.
It was a no-looker too. She just kind of like bloop, plopped it over the net, and I don't think they were expecting that.
So here comes a set point, and they're going to get it via the ace. Seaholm Maples have come storming back after dropping the first set, taking sets 2 and 3 by identical 25-17 scores.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
Set number 4, the Seaholm Maples trying to come away with a match victory. If they are somehow able to claim this 4th set, they will in fact win it. So now the Falcons here on their home floor are going to have to come back, Andy, and try to force a 5th set tiebreaker.
Yeah, you know they want to do that. They are here in the home building, and this is not the one they want to lose to their crosstown rivals.
Outside attack blocked, but out of bounds. So the Maples score the first 2 points here of set number 4. 2-0 their lead. Brinley Pratt has done a fabulous job. She has kind of been the go-to server when it comes to points for the Maples. So for them to start this set with her with the serve, an opportunity to grow a lead. Falcons come away with that point.
We need our scorekeeper to keep up. There we go. We're good now.
Nolette. Weber to the outside. Nolette dug it up, bumped to the back row and into a Falcon. It's going to go down in the record books as a 4-hit. Now a service error. So we've talked about it throughout this match here tonight. When the two teams are so evenly matched, it's those slight errors that could become the difference maker.
Yeah, yep. It's the unforced errors. You really have to eliminate those. And as I always like to mention, including at the beginning of this match, how much running did the girls do? How much conditioning drills and, the burpees and all the ugly, boring aspects of practices that these ladies do to get their bodies in shape to be able to withstand a 5-set match. It's what comes back to haunt some teams occasionally, and because you and I have been saying it all night so far, these two teams look very, very evenly matched in skill set standpoints.
This becomes a bit of a grind. When played at a certain level, a game of volleyball is as entertaining as it gets.
And the enthusiasm, I mean, it's always higher with the ladies anyways. It really is between swimming, volleyball, and softball for sure. Those three come right to mind, where it's just off the charts energy-wise.
The chatter in those softball dugouts is unmatched.
Yeah.
Tough play, unplayable there for Hugel. Got a little too close to the net. We've been in some pretty loud pool areas too, though.
My ears
Pre-game,
are still ringing. Yep. Yeah, from the screaming.
Pre-meet
last year. It's been a year. They get themselves amped up beforehand with all their ritualistic chants, hollers, screams, shrieks.
outside attack is good. Maples seemingly have flipped a switch here. Not that that first set wasn't close, but they dropped it. And since then, have been the sort of aggressor here, so to speak. An underhand play. Oh, that was pretty.
Yeah, tough play. Tough play goes in their favor, and they pull within one now.
Emmeline Hugel, number 16, the junior. Julia Yoder will check in to supply a little bit of firepower from the outside. Set comes to the near side and into the net. Kovac unable to come down with it. So Madison Close, the head coach for Birmingham Groves, telling Emily Rankin on where she wants that serve to go. A little bit of a delayed attack. Playable here for the Maples. Free ball. Another block up front. Yoder had that ball teed up for her. A little bit of a delayed reaction there by Julia, but big smile on her face now as her and the Falcons have reclaimed the lead here in set number 4.
Yeah, she'll take it. That was, I don't think that was the way it was designed or drawn up, but it surely panned out for her.
Set to the outside, cross-court shot is a good one. Carly Weigel, Mary Gumbus up front, along with Emma Weber. Leighton Kovac, the sophomore, will serve. 7 up our score. Set number 4, Falcons trailing now here on their home floor, 2-1, trying to force a set 5 game breaker, tiebreaker. And we got a line violation. Point over to Seaholm. To the back row. Received cleanly by the Falcons. Yoder will switch spots now. As Yoder goes over to that far side, switching with Hugel. Weber goes behind the back. Good block up front. Ashley O'Connor along that front row now for the Falcons as well. Get Baldridge, Rankin, and Nolette along the back row. Now some subs will check in for Groves, as will a sub now for the Maples. Ellie Bradkey, fresh player in for Seaholm. I'm going to pick on her right away. Junior can't come up with it, and J.C. Roy gets the ace.
Roy's got her hand wrapped. A couple of the ladies do. It's the padding for the serve to sort of avoid that swelling, which can occur from repeated serves. It gets a little sore.
Timeout on the floor. Looking ahead to the upcoming schedules. The Birmingham Groves Falcons are going to go on the road to take on North Farmington before returning home to take on Troy Athens. And then road contests against Royal Oak and Rochester Adams looms. The Seaholm Maples, after this contest, they will go on the road to take on Bloomfield Hills. West Bloomfield here at home. And then we'll celebrate Troy Seniors Night in October. And they'll have their own senior night against Stony Creek. Sprawling effort. What a save there by the Seaholm Maples defensively. And then the outside hit by Heller, too strong. Defense strong there by the Maples.
Yeah, they've had the answers by and large. I mean, both teams neck and neck, really. Not just on the scoreboard at the moment.
So here's Pratt with the serve, and the Maples really have gone on long runs when she has had the serve. So see if they can take advantage of that once again. Good communication, called for, played, spun off the top of the tape. Mia Janis couldn't get it over. Fortunate break there for the Falcons as that ball spun into Seaholm territory. Margot Nolette. Thought she might have the ace. Falcons on the overpass. Good set to the middle, hitter, and a point down. That was Addison Wolf.
Yeah, nice setup by Wolf. That was set up for her. She did the dirty work at the end.
And then another ace for Margot. Nolette serves from right in the center of the service line. And she does her own scouting. She's not relying on her coaching staff on where she needs to place the serve. She kind of glances at the defense and then quickly gets it across. A tough play here for the Maples. They send it to the outside. Mia Janis to the back row. Good volley back and forth here. Good block. Nolette able to play it, able to save it. Comes near side now to Molly Heller and out of bounds. Maples get that all-important side out. Yoder had to send it over. So free ball here for the Maples, having to readjust along that front line. Hazel Guffey. And now shoveled across. Oh, what a one-handed play. Addison Wolf with their left hand.
Yeah, and this ball lands just in bounds. I mean, she couldn't have placed it any better. And Groves now with a little bit of a small cushion for the first time in a while.
That was Addison Wolf sort of adjusting on the fly. Guffey sends it over. Opportunity here for the Groves. They go cross court with it. Defense of the Maples able to get back. That one was touched before it sailed out of bounds. So that's the power game of the Maples. Service error once again by Weber.
Yeah, that's tough. That's like when you hit that beautiful drive down the middle and the second one goes about 30 feet. That's just, can't stand prosperity at that point. And,
chunk the chip, right?
yeah, right, exactly.
Baldridge, you mentioned the 3-point cushion right now for the Falcons.
Oh, off the side of her hand.
Yeah, nice job by our BACB Sports crew bringing you that on-the-court shot. You could see it kind of roll off to the side of Addison Wolf's hand. Couldn't get a lot on it and forced it into the net. No harm, no fouls. Janice serves it into the net. So the two teams trade errors. Nolette comes off. And Addison Wolf will have the serve. Bit of a jump serve for her. Received by Glacier, the libero. And Falcons really weren't quite set defensively, I don't think.
No, I feel like they were still kind of getting into their position. A lot of these serves come quickly. It feels like, you know, if they get a point, one team or the other wants to hurry up and get back to it before the other team's even ready to go.
Glacier in deep with the ace. The ace dance. Have you quite figured out that dance? I don't know.
No, I'm not sure. I have to observe that a little bit more to see if we can pick up on the nuances of it.
It's a bit of a swing of the fist down into the free hand. Let's see if we can maybe get another look at it during the next ace. But the Falcons get this point.
Their ace dance?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you gotta choreograph one, right?
I know. I understand. I mean, the pros do it, right? In every sport. You don't see that as much in hockey. It seems to be a football and basketball thing. I guess baseball, too. They got their share of ritualistic high fives, backward high fives, up high, down low, all that fun stuff.
Well, the Tigers have the pizza celebration into the home runs.
They do.
So they've even incorporated props to the game of baseball celebration.
And seized on a marketing opportunity, considering their team owner.
Leighton Kovac. Nothing comfortable right now about this match. Neither team able to get into any sort of groove to expand on a lead. And that's a quick point there for the Falcons. Bit of a miscue defensively by the Maples. Falcons race to 8 points here with Love to force a fifth set. Weber and Gumbus tried a little bit of a jump attack. I don't know if she mistimed her jump or what, but sent it straight into the net. Right into your television screens with that attack. That was a cool angle. Gumbus again. Sprawling effort down to the knees. Stayed alive somehow. Two teams trading blows here. And now we're going to get a point finally over the Maples. It looked like maybe a foot hit crossed the center court line. And Seaholm wants a change. They're going to bring in Brindley Pratt. Carly Weagle comes out. Free ball for Seaholm. Gumbus popped it over to the back row. Saved there by J.C. Roy. Played by Yoder. Sprawling effort again by the libero, Nolette. Yoder cross court and out. Crunch time here for the Falcons.
It's a close one.
Can ill afford to let this one slip away.
Nope.
That helps.
Yeah, it's a start for them. Yeah, this is neck and neck stuff. I mean, real nail biter time for both teams, and it's been like that since the beginning, really, since we started.
was the call. It was an ace. Line judge on that far side said it was in. Big display of emotion by Margot Nolette. She's fired up. Falcons sensing that they have themselves in a good spot to force a fifth set, up 3 here in set number 4. Timeout on the floor called by Derek Williams, the man in charge at Seaholm High School. Good, clean look there at the Falcon huddle. Their head coach, Madison Close, has her fans fired up.
Does she have green hair?
No.
Or is that just lighting? I don't know. We might have to look at that a little closer. It looked like her hair was green. She might want to see somebody about that. Or maybe she did that on purpose. I don't know what's going on there. I hope not. I hope I'm not. I hope I'm not getting in trouble here, which wouldn't be the first time, by the way. But if she did color her hair green, I mean, I gotta admire that. That's done. Talk about going all in. Maybe she should think about it. We got Halloween coming up in another month.
So Nolette wasting no time out of the Maple timeout, and they're going to get the point. A little joust at the net, and the Falcons come away with it.
Well, the Falcons got their mojo back here. This is unlike the last 2 sets where they were sort of struggling to stay within sight of Seaholm, but they're clearly the aggressors here in set number 4.
And Nolette went with a fastball there and just absolutely powered it. Going to try it again. This time it's received well by the Maples. They get the point down. And Janice able to jam it home. And Gumbus will have the serve. Their team trailing by 4. Have to win these sets by 2 points. Going to come near side. Splits a couple defenders. What a play on the outside by Molly Heller.
Yeah, tough shot. I mean, she hit it where they weren't. And that was not easy to do because they're covering all that floor. But Groves goes up 5 now, and they just want to close this one out.
Out of bounds. Ooh. Tough break for the Falcons. It would have been a good idea to try to go down that near sideline. But at this point in the match, you can't afford any sort of error. Good set to the middle hitter. There's another campfire ball. Falcons feeling it now. They are a point away from evening this match up at 2 sets apiece. They're going to call upon Emery Baldridge, the freshman, to serve it up. Set point. And an ace. Baldridge comes up big. So do the Falcons. They win it 25-19. Teams tied up at 2 sets apiece. We're heading to a tiebreaker, folks. Don't go anywhere.
If you love them enough to relearn math so you can teach them math, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
You like action, you've come to the right place. Birmingham Groves High School tied at 2 sets apiece. A set tiebreaker here coming up. A race to 15 points. Weber to Gumbus. That has been the recipe tonight for the Maples as they get the first point.
Well, that's big for them because I feel like they lost a little bit of their mojo in that 4th set. The Groves just sort of exerted their will upon them and took the victory. So Seaholm's got to dig deep here.
To the near side, dug up along that back row. And a block. Yoder out there. Monty Rencher along that front row as well for the Falcons. And another block. Some confusion.
Yeah, I thought they would have stopped play a little earlier than that even. It looked like there might have been.
Double hit, maybe?
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not sure. But nonetheless, we're at 1-1. And if you have Groves, you want to just sort of stay with that momentum that you built up in that fourth set, because they looked really good. The best they've looked all night there.
Go to the middle for Addison Wolf. Wolf gets herself back into position. Yoder trying to tap it over quickly. And I guess they see home with the point, 2-1. Energy level up. Tension up. Why not? When you're racing to 15 points, every point is huge. Seaholm in clear control here in this fifth set tiebreaker. 3-1 their lead. Wolf. Weber goes over on 2. Wolf was ready for it this time. They go to the outside this time. And a double hit.
Both teams playing scrappy ball. They're doing their thing over here, Brad. Back to the freshman. She's had the magic touch on these serves.
Oh boy. Falcons have gotten some terrific defense from that front row. Addison Wolf just continues to jump in that middle hitter position. Now she's finally rewarded with a point offensively. Has been doing all the work on the defensive side. Now comes away with the kill.
Yeah, those defensive stops are not as glamorous as those kill shots like she just made. And that had to feel good to her.
Geisbuehler gives it a spin. Back row, Weber, tough play. That was Wolf once again in the middle. From the attack line on that outside. Yeah, Janice again. Usual suspects on the floor right now for both teams, as both head coaches have pretty much gone with their starting lineup here for this tie-breaking set. Wolf, too deep. 5-3, Maples in charge right now. Trying to squash a 4-game losing streak. Your side just able to get it over the net. Cross court. Geisbuehler from the back row. And into the net. Boy, oh boy. An unforced error there for Groves.
Yeah, and those are what you need to cut down on. You just cannot give for your points away, especially in a match so close. The way this has been tonight, just nip and tuck the whole way.
Good communication, calling for the ball. Block up front by the Maples. And try it again, trying to shove it across. Molly Heller does just that. The junior with the point. Substitutions galore. Serve will belong to Baldridge. Received cleanly by Pratt. And too deep.
Nobody giving an inch here. They are standing up for their own side, and things have been just that close the whole time.
Lillian Ribbons, one of the assistant coaches for Seaholm, giving some last-second instructions. It's the power game right now of Addison Wolf and the Falcons, as they have tied up this fifth set at 6 apiece. Baldridge. Weber set. And the point. Boy, Nolette was there. Just couldn't get her fingertips on it. keep it alive. Molly Glazier, not quite her rotation. Mia Janis instead to serve. Flat-footed, kind of a high arcing serve.
Oh, that is not the first time tonight that has happened. Really to both sides, but I feel like that's happened to Seaholm a couple extra times where they just sort of, they left that center open and Groves found it. And that was the tie, the equalizer.
Middle hit, blocked but not down. Gonna go to the outside. You can see that one rode in the palm that time of Carly Weigel. And spun out of bounds. Falcons ahead by 1. Back row hit into the net. Saved, but out. Tremendous effort. Monty Renscher just couldn't tuck it in along that far sideline. And it's 8-8 here in the tiebreaker.
I mean, you could cut the tension with a knife in here. These players and spectators are all just holding their breath on every single point.
Glazier going to go to the far left side of the service area. Just kind of cross court with the serve. And the Maples get the point. 5 points away now from a victory. Picks that same spot. Geisbuehler with the reception. And for like the third time in this match, 2 Seaholm defenders collide. We're laying it out on the line now. Short little setup and a spike down. Renscher. Celebration amped up for the Falcons.
Yeah, nobody giving an inch.
Rankin now. Look over at her coach. There it is. Finds out where she wants to place this serve. All the way to the back row. Weber. Gumbus. Olette. Dug it up. Comes near side. Oh, what a spot to pick.
It's like the ball had eyes there, Brad. That thing went right where it needed to get the point. And we are tied up again.
10-10. A race to 5. Who is going to pick up these next 5 points and claim victory here tonight in our rivalry match? Shoveled in. Nolette came up to, supply some support for the front row. She vacated her position, and the Maples put it in deep.
Yeah, they made her pay for that, and here she was just trying to cover some extra floor, a little bit of real estate there, but again, seeing eye ball. Score point for Seaholm.
Kovac to Yoder. Rankin. The far side. Pops straight up into the air. Tough play. Made left-handed by Lauren Gregg. First time tonight we've called her name. She's on the outside hitting position now for Seaholm. Gregg going to get an opportunity. Going to go up with the right hand. Gregg overhead play this time. Yoder calls for it. They're going to go to the middle instead, and they're going to come away with the point. That's Renscher. 11-11. Back and forth we go.
And there's a lot of energy on those benches, too. Everybody up.
It'll be J.C. Roy to serve, wearing number 11. Kind of apropos. Into the back row, received by Glazier. Short set, and too much firepower. The Maples want to touch. I don't think they're going to get their wish. They're not. Point to the Falcons. And now we're going to get a timeout call. Boy, oh boy.
Just another volleyball match, right? Not really. This one's been a good one. We have seen it all. And these players are soaking up that lesson they're getting from their coach. Derek Williams is imparting his wisdom. He could do one of those Head and Shoulder commercials with Troy Polamalu and Patrick Mahomes. He's got that hair going.
Falcons took the first set, 25-23. Maples taking the middle two frames by identical 25-17 scores. The Falcons forcing the tiebreaker with the 25-19 fourth set victory. And now a couple points away here from the tie-breaking victory. Tapped around, a full-on joust, and the Falcons come away with the point. 13-11, now just 2 points away from a home court victory. J.C. Roy, tremendous job by our entire BACB sports crew here tonight, bringing you the sights and sounds. Glazier from her libero position. Dumped it in deep, blocked along the front line, playable here for the Maples. Back row attack, cross court, dug up by Rankin. Nolet to the front row. Kept alive somehow by the Maples. They're going to go underhand. Nolet bumps it across court. Outside hit by Yoder. Playable there for Weber. And don't look now, but the Falcons 1 point away. Match point coming up, and we're going to get another timeout called by Seaholm.
Well, that last exchange was just survival. It was just get it over the net. Everyone went underhand. The fundamentals were out the door. There was no setups, and just a matter of get it over the net and see if one of the other teammates of the other side could make a mistake. And really, it was very sound playing across the board by both sides, but Groves just a little bit better, and they have the lead right now. They need one more point. Seaholm trying to regroup and kind of stem the tide that is the green wave, the green Groves wave. So you see some of the faithful in attendance, parents, grandparents holding their breath. And here we go.
Match point number 1. J.C. Roy fires one in deep. Weber to the outside. Oh, boy, I don't know if she meant to do that, but that ball took a little bit of a change of pace as it came over the net. Looked like she was trying to go cross court with it and didn't get all of it, and it seemingly hung up. Just barely got over the net, and the Falcons weren't able to play it.
Yeah, and Seaholm's not going to ask how. They're just going to ask if, and they got a very important point there.
Here's Pratt with the serve. Match point number 2. Outside attack, playable for the Maples. Going to go to the outside, Janice. Nolet to Rankin. Tipped along the front row. Weber's going to fire it across. Positioned well was Rankin. Nolet to the near side. Diving save. Look at the emotion being displayed by that Maple bench. Both teams volleying it, and now the Falcons couldn't play it.
Gritty, very gritty. Seaholm, they're not going away easy.
Within 1.
The Groves Falcons need one more point.
To the outside, Heller. And that will do it. The Groves Falcons, in come from behind fashion, will celebrate here on their home floor as they take the tie-breaking set by the final score of 15-13. I think head coach Madison Close there said it right. Wow. The Falcons win it 3-2.
Unbelievable. I mean, pure competition. Some of these events take on just a little more meaning, and you just sense the energy and enjoyment of Groves to pull this one out, and it was hard fought. Give both teams a lot of credit. They laid it all out there, and just a really meaningful victory for the Falcons.
Groves wins it 25-23, 17-25, 17-25, 25-19, 15-13. For my broadcast partner, Andy Aubrey, I'm Brad Fetter saying goodnight one final time from Groves High School. Thank you so much for watching this BACB Sports production.